Greetings, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another episode of I Have a Testimony. I'm your host, Brother Willie Muhammad.
To walk with that man, brother, is to walk with God.
I got that from the Nation of Islam.
He said the right thing with me that just shook. It shook me.
Ask Allah for something big.
And welcome back. As I said, welcome to another episode of I Have a Testimony. Today, I know you all haven't seen me in a while. When I have the spirit to do these shows, I'm now doing it when something moves me. But something happened recently that I wanted to have some of the experts that I say and people who I admire for what they're doing in their skill set, and also their believers as well, to come on and talk about the recent releases by our brother Jay Electronica. And you know, we don't often hear music from him. So to help me with that, I'm going to bring them on one at a time. We have our brother from the city of Atlanta. See, they didn't bring him in. Here we go. There he is. Our brother from the city of Atlanta, brother Kaleb Muhammad. Then we have our sister. You've seen her before. If you're not a stranger to the internet, and you know our sister handles her business on the microphone of Hecava Mecca. Did I get that right, sister?
Yes, sir, you did.
Praise be to Allah. Then also you all are not a stranger to this brother right here. Let me get this out of his way. His brother who recently just did on this Friday, they came together and did a bar exam. Man, I have to participate in one of them one time. So we're all here. I want to give you all the greetings. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow.
And so we're all here to talk about the releases of brother Jay Electronica. It was actually like four products, projects that he actually did. So with me, I like to jump straight to the actual interview and get out the way. And we're going to first start off with our sister. So, sis, what were your thoughts when you heard Jay Electronica release this new music, and your thoughts on the music?
Well, my first thoughts was nervousness. I'm not gonna go into that. So when I first heard it, he first dropped the one, which he had already dropped, but he redropped it, right? I'm sorry, my mom's calling me right now. And I listened to it. I'm like, okay, but he's somebody you have to go back and listen to it multiple times. You can't just listen to it one time because his lyrics are so packed. Mm-hmm. I would say that my favorite one is Who Killed Michael Jackson. That beat, first of all, fire. But he comes with so much, and it's kind of like it's an explosion in your head, because it's like, how is he piecing this together? Like, you taking supreme wisdom and you piecing it like that, and you giving it to the people in a way to where it's easily digestible. So my first thoughts was like, this is interesting. Because a couple of songs I heard, I was like, because they didn't add up with the name of the song. And I'm like, where is he going? But as I listened again, I'm like, oh no, he's spitting for real. So my first thoughts was, but as I began to listen more and more, I was like, okay, Jay. I've never really listened to Jay Electronica like that. So this is really my first time actually listening to him.
Wow, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. We go to you, DJ Rockwell. What were your thoughts?
First of all, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Brother, thank you for allowing us the space to be on your great platform. I have a testimony, brother. Thank you for having me, us.
Honored,
and I just wanted to say, to answer your question, there was conversation on a recent, and this is a segue real quick, about the power of the use of social media to promote your work. And some people express skepticism of the use of social media as a tool to roll out your record. I learned about Jay Electronica's album through his Twitter page, now X. So that goes to show there was no massive rollout from Rock Nation. We didn't see any ads taken out in the hip hop periodicals or the hip hop websites or blogs. I saw Jay Elect tweet on his page, this album out now. Psh, what? And sure enough, when I went to my DSP of choice, there it was. So I was more surprised, when our brother rolled out. It's like having a Bigfoot sighting. So I was surprised, but very, 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 very satisfied with what I heard.
Praise be to Allah. Brother Kaleb, what do you say?
Brother, after waiting for the first album as long as we did, I was just gonna give it a shot. I kind of heard some reports that we might get a release, and I was optimistic. And when it dropped, I was satisfied, and I was also very impressed. And my initial thoughts, and I know you have several questions for us, but my initial thoughts immediately go to the playlist and start looking at some of these titles. And as a Muslim and an FOI, we're missionaries. So we always are looking for tools to help us to reach our people. And then we can kind of weigh when certain things are introduced, in the mainstream. And we understand exactly the gravity of something that drops. When you talking about the kind of audience that brother has, to know, then they looking at the same thing. Who killed Michael? See, these are questions that our people are not asking, but they're being, these questions are being deposited, causing them to think. So those of us who know, we do understand that that's extremely valuable. When it comes to a ministry, if you will.
Yeah. And if you all know, watching, brother is very strategic, and when he does what he does, it's not by accident. Even the samples, I wasn't expecting any music. I got some text from a number that I had not saved in my phone, and there was an audio file on it, and I listened to it, and it was him. And I'm like, yo, I just, I felt blessed just to hear it, but you could tell it was the music in the raw form. It wasn't like the as you all probably know, I don't know the language. It wasn't the final thing. Then I got another one, because the first one was the Abracadabra. Then the other one was the Kill Michael Jackson. Then I'm just like, I was like, wow. I just thought he just was sending some stuff, because he moves like that. You might not hear from him for 2 years, right? And I woke up and a brother in our mosque, he said, man, Jay just dropped the album. I'm like, what? Then he dropped another one. Then he dropped another one. Then he dropped another one. So it was something, man. And I was just like, yo, let me take the time and let me get into it. And the more I listen to it, I'm loving it even more. So our sister mentioned what stood out to her as one of what track stood out to her. And I know she's going to probably come up with another one. We'll go back and ask you all that, starting with you, Brother Kaleb. What track stood out to you the most thus far, and why? Because I know that can change with the more you're listening to it.
True. Some of the tracks, we've heard, and they were not officially released, but they still like all-time favorites. That Road to Perdition is just timeless. And for me, I have a preference of boom bap. That's my thing. And that is, I'm very partial, but I'm also very interested in the MC and what he has to say. So I'm not so hung on the beat as I am the content. So I can appreciate the tracks that don't have that element. But the titles, I think, are just revolutionary, bro. In every sense. And I just was really just bold, very different, and just, brother's very hard to understand because he doesn't make the kind of decisions that the average MC will make when it comes to being recognized, being getting the accolades, getting the likes, it don't seem like he's interested in that as much as he is making an impact. And I think that in itself is something that every MC should strive for, because there has to be a certain level of humility when a man like that, with that kind of cult-like following, can drop what he did. He's like giving his wealth away, basically. I think that's something that needs to be studied.
Wow, thank you. And brother, we got sister Hecava. So what you mentioned one? Was there another track that stood out to you?
I did like 4,400,000,000, and I did like Abracadabra. It's the beats. The beats is always gonna be what really draws me in first. But just liking his cadence and how it's so like nonchalant. It's almost like he's having a conversation with you. It's not just he's rapping, he's talking to you, but he's rhyming. And there was one thing that he said, I can't remember verbatim what he said, but he said basically if he wasn't rapping about what he was rapping about and he decided to, change it up, like y'all would have a run for y'all's money. But he's focused on the mission. He's not focused on, who the best. And that I felt that deep in my soul, because I feel the same exact way. And yeah, so 4,400,000,000 and Abracadabra.
Yeah, I can see that. Thank you, brother DJ. What you say?
Oh man, like both have just referenced. As a DJ, I'm torn because as a podcaster and one who writes critique on hip hop albums, you can write about Jay. You can write lines and lines and lines and paragraphs about brother's lyrical ability, his content, his style, delivery, his subject matter. And I took a few notes here about things that lyrically stood out to me. And then there's the DJ approach where I said, man, which one of these records would I play? Which one of these records have a drum track that would drive a club or a set, for example? So some of the records that stood out to me, surprisingly, were the records like Brother Kaleb and Sister pointed out that didn't have a drum track at all. Some of these records are almost 10 years old. In particular, the one I'll refer to here is on the Patents and Nobility album, the song Real Magic. The first verse is brilliant because he points out that I missed all the glory for technological luxuries. Extra honey in the tea, but we pay no homage to the beat. Whatever happened to us? And he says that line over just a simple melody. Calm. You could almost fall into a trance because there's no drums driving it. But that was the point. He didn't want you to be all like this here. And that's where I have to, my divide is trying to figure out, okay, how do I apply this? Hip hop is about settings. Where do you play this? When do you use this? And brother got some records that speak to both settings.
That's right.
And why y'all making me feel like a novice? Y'all in here talking about drum tracks. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know. Y'all got to tell me what song that don't have a drum track to, because I don't know. But I will say mine, man. Like it's always changed. I was about to text Brother Kaleb this morning on the way to the mosque, and what our sister said, that track, Road to Perdition. I said, man,
Crazy.
if he wasn't focused on, like he said, fighting the devil, and he really wanted to go at that top 5, man, it would be some trouble. But mine that stood out, the song I gotta say that Abracadabra, because it helped me to further understand brother does not see himself as a rapper. And I kind of was figuring this, like why he's not putting stuff out? Why he not? And as I listened to him and hear certain things, I said, man, brother don't see himself as a rapper. He sees himself as using his talent to help the messenger of God and get this teaching out. And I saw when I post that video talking about it, and I was like, if this is how you feel, Jay, you'll let me know. And he hit like on it. So that's one of the things that stood out. So we'll go with this. You kind of started breaking some of it down already, brother DJ Vaughn, with lyrics. We'll start off with our sister. Are there any lyrics or lines that hit you on a spiritual or personal level from this that you have thus far? If you don't know anything, because I know it's still kind of new, but even maybe from some of his previous music.
Like I said, I never really listened to Jay Electronica before he dropped these albums. Well, one line it didn't necessarily hit me spiritually, but one line that stood out to me was when he said, "I'm just energy. I don't even know what's going on anymore." And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, just trying to piece it together. Like I said, I'm very new to him, so just trying to piece it together. I think you had shared a video of the white guy, and he was breaking down something.
Yeah.
Wow.
From
Brilliant.
the movie, some movie, I don't. And I'm like, you know what? That makes that is so masterful to me. That's so witty. I love that.
Yeah.
But if that is what he's doing, because I don't know,
Yeah.
if that is what he's doing, I think that's amazing.
That's true. That's definitely gonna come back to you, DJ. Then we'll go to brother Kaleb. Thank you too, sis, for sharing that. You'd already shared some lyrics, so I know you got another lyric that you have written down. What's another lyric that stood out to you, brother DJ?
Oh, wow. And can I speak to what my sister just said, though, in regards to that video?
Of course.
If that ends up being true, that will make this the most brilliant rollout we've ever seen. If that dude's speculation is right, we can all quit and go home, because there's never been a well thought out to that degree of a rollout and of a presentation of a series of projects. But to answer your question of more lyrics, again, I want to go back to, and again, these are records that have been on the market for quite some time, that now that they're all collected in one place, we can all make sense of them. Imagine a puzzle, and I give you one piece of the puzzle 1 year. 3 years later, I give you another piece of the puzzle another year. Another couple of years later, I give you another piece of the puzzle. Now we have them all in one place. We can see the picture. So now I get a chance to look at brother Jay Elect. Oh, I see you now. And this is a case in point on patents and nobility. Again, some of them which we've heard before. On the song Letter to Fallon, the chorus blew my mind once I finally got what he was saying. He said, "I walked across the water. I came by myself.
Oh, yeah.
I climbed the highest mountain, and I ain't never been nailed."
Ooh.
Who we talking about?
Ooh, I missed that.
He talking about Master Farrakhan Muhammad. And he slid that right in under that. Brilliant.
Thank you. Brother Kaleb.
Bro, I'm really it's a lot to take in. Some of the feedback that I got from some of I would say fans as they analyze the projects, and we may be talking about the same white guy. He just said, "I'm just confused." But in the same breath, he's like, "I'm confused, but I'm so intrigued." Basically, like, I want to understand. For me, I'm still digesting. I tried to go in the first few days to try to just download. I had to chill. I had to really back up, process, then get back to it. But one of the most profound verses that because I'm impressed with brother. He's an artist. I'm an artist, so I appreciate the artistic creativity, the delivery. As an artist, you know, brother is really just one of my favorite among all artists, right? And it's not limited to just his lyrical ability. It's the creativity. It's the willingness to challenge and push the line impresses me, taking risks. But the verse, he said, the receiver is the what did he say? The ear drum is the receiver, the heart is the target. That's profound. So stuff like that impresses me. So that, I think, among other bars, that one stood out for me.
I gotta man, I wish I'd have wrote this one down, but this is one that stood out. Where he says, I don't know what song is on, because he says, I say El Fatiha on stage before I emerge from behind the curtain. Soon as they put the mic in my hand, I get straight to working. My tongue turned into the silks by Master Farrakhan in person. He had one song where he says something, when he rap, he said the children on the baby plane do something. And I made a video where he talks about you'll be eating your popcorn with when a holy L moonwalks backstage with glitter socks and something. And I'm like, man, he talk about the Michael Jackson thing, man. The dude is just,
that clip was brilliant.
Oh, he's just clever, man. Let me go to this question that somebody asked, and you all can chime in on it. This is our brother Ant. He said the question for the panel: what does everyone think the significance is of Jay Electronica releasing new music at this time? Anybody wanted to add to that?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Go ahead, sis.
I was just sitting here thinking about that, and I was actually looking up a Quranic verse. But one of his verses, he said he had 19 albums. And so was that his goal the whole time? Not necessarily to be away, but he was working up to that number 19, because we know that 19 is the signature of Allah. And it made me think about the Holy Quran verse where it says 19 are over them, and it's it's the 30th ayah. Over it are 19. So over hell is 19. But it's the 74th surah, and it's called the one wrapping himself up. And it says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. O thou who wrappest thyself up, arise and warn, and thy Lord do magnify, and thy garments do purify, and uncleanness do shun, and do no favor seeking gain. And so it kind of reminds me of some of the things that he said, that, he's doing this for the people. He's not doing it for himself. And I think the reason for him releasing music right now is because it's right on time. It's right on time. And Allah working. Allah is working. And the teaching of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad are going to be made known. They're being proven correct, right, and exact forever. But right now, it's so much going on in my mind. But right now is the perfect time, because so much is going on, but there's still a stillness. And so the people are bearing witness to the wills. The people are bearing witness to the synagogue of Satan. The people are bearing witness to everything. And it's like him dropping it because he has a cult following. I mean, the fact that a white guy broke that video down like that. He is Allah is working. That's all I can say. Allah is working.
Yeah. And they are hearing the voice of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and clips bearing witness to what they were saying. Anybody else wanted to answer that question by Brother Anthony? Why do you think the significance? Go ahead, Brother Kaleb.
What was significant to me was I think this year was the 40th anniversary of that Vision-like experience and the release. Not to mention, was the 22nd of September was the day that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad actually accepted the teaching. So, I mean, very, very significant for me as well, because I registered on September 22nd, 1997.
Wow.
But I think, brother, sometimes we make mistakes as even believers, but when you're talking about the general public, when we see flaws in our brother or our sister, and we think that for some reason that Allah can't use them. So we play judge, and we assign people to hell where we don't really have that authority, right? So I'm able to see how Allah is using this brother, right? And we settle on the best part, right? And from studying the artist and just studying a little bit about his makeup, his background, and we should do that a lot, even with each other. When somebody shares with you certain things about their history and their experiences, it'll help you to understand who you're dealing with. And with brother, he's very, very spiritual. And this is not a man that is just, brother knows the words. He knows the word, and from understanding how, his relationship with the Bible and his mother and grandmother, that man know that book, bro. And he understands the teaching. So I think that gives him an ability to be able to, none of us are prophets, but be able to read and then understand, okay, it's time. You see what I'm saying? So what is equally impressive is what seems like Jay-Z's willingness to really let this man have his way.
Yeah, that's a great point, brother.
And I've heard people say, well, this is just Jay, just tax write-off. It's bigger than that, bro.
Yeah, brother.
You can't talk Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad and think that this enemy gonna forget. Like, there's certain things that there's no turning back. So I could say more, but no, I'll leave it there.
Yeah, great point, brother. Great point. Go ahead, brother. DJ, what do you think?
Oh man, they both made points that I covered this past Friday on the podcast in reviewing it. One other thing that we did mention, and to me, not enough people are looking at this. When you are a quote unquote major rapper or on a major label, they put a lot of thought into when to release a project. They're looking at what they call a release schedule for major label artists. This person is going to drop on this record label on this day. So maybe I want to hold until that blow by, or this rapper is going to drop on that day. So let me hold until that go by so I can maximize on a gap. He chose to drop the same week as Cardi B.
That's right.
The rollout for the Cardi B album has been nothing short of phenomenal. And as much effort as she chose to drop into that, the money that Atlantic Records put into promoting her sophomore album.
Great point.
Here come brother on the same week with none of the above and dropped it out there and just said,
great point.
What does that mean?
Great point.
They have two totally separate audiences, it would seem. But to me, the bravery to do that is I'm going to put the word out there and it's going to stand no matter who out there. I don't wait on the right time. I'm going to wait on God's time, and that time is that time's now.
Wow.
Battle in the sky, bro.
That's a great, I didn't think about that. That's a great thing. I was able to pull this verse up and I just noticed something else. Look at the play on words. He says, and it's on the Knights of King Bridge. He says, because it don't matter if you black or Anglo socks on,
That was
socks
brilliant.
on. He says socks on. You see a holy L gliding across the stage with icy gloves and socks on. You'll be crying baby Jesus tears in your popcorn. The key, call the Ghostbusters up and tell them we got one. The key master return it. Escape from the fiery furnace. N-words don't concern us. You see what I'm saying? He playing on and he has a song called Baby Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So it's he don't do stuff by just accidental, man. And I was listening to this song that he did with Chance the Rapper, talking about water or something. And on the song, Jay Electronica is basically saying Minister Farrakhan is the Jesus when you listen to it. He's not tucking his faith for anybody. about what we believe in. We'll move on. So, question to you, we'll start with you, brother Kaleb. Jay Electronica moves differently. Like I said, scenes, but we know he moves differently, bro. And people in the nation can say it. Other artists that said it. You have Puff Daddy saying it, Jay-Z saying it, Nas saying it. He moves differently, right? Than most mainstream artists. What does his approach tell you about how he maneuvers in the industry to you?
Tells me that, this is a man that moves to a different drum beat. Obviously, I see him as somebody who's literally sounding the alarm and showing directly or indirectly people that you don't have to do things in the traditional way. Most of these artists, I mean, bro, would kill to have a following like brother that he really does not, I would say, tap into as much as he could when it comes to what he can get out of them. But it's more of it's not so much of a give and take. You can literally see him as somebody that just like giving away his wealth, So I just see him breaking the mold when it comes to just artists and what we should be talking about. Interesting thing with the Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong, he utilized the artists in that revolution. They played a critical role in being able to fight on that plane. And I see brother in that same vein. It's something that I think you saw more artists do in the 60s and 70s, but most of us out here chasing that bag, bro. And clearly that is not what he's doing.
Yeah, he says that on one of the songs. He says that he ain't trying to he ain't come for, I ain't come for the wars. I ain't come for, I forgot the actually lyric that he says. And our sister, sis, I don't know if you heard the question. What does his approach, what does Jay Electronica's approach and how he moves differently than mainstream artists tell you about his maneuvers from your perspective?
He just well, knowing that he is in the nation obviously shows that it just shows that he moved differently simply because he's in the nation. He don't move based upon being told what to do. He move how he move, and he puts his faith first. And I was thinking about this the other day about, I feel like he's protected. Like no matter how we may feel or how we may think about Jay-Z, he there for a reason. And Jay-Z no. And there's, I can't remember who said it. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that there are angels in the industry. Okay. And not saying that Jay-Z is an angel or that Jay Electronica is an angel, but we don't know that. And I just think that he's protected being where he's at, and he's exactly where he is supposed to be. And he moved like the God move.
That is true. That is true. And DJ Rockwell, thank you, sis. Great words too.
Man, anybody that's been quote unquote even music industry adjacent knows that the music industry is smoke and mirrors, and it's a show. We all know, and we've been around long enough to know and been close enough to this game to know it's all pomp and circumstance. It's a high school talent show. It's a popularity contest. And he tells you on the Written Testimony Leaflets album on Who Killed Michael Jackson, he said, "You got me all effed up if you think I'm in showbiz."
Yeah, he sure did.
He has made on several of the tracks across the 4 albums a very detailed effort to let you know I'm not a part of that. And one of the points we raised on the podcast Friday was Well, we understand that you are still a commercial MC in the sense that you're selling records, and anybody that signs a deal, like, okay, well, the label at some point going to want a return on the investment. But he's like, you know what? Crash that. He has made such a sacrifice for mainstream success to get a message across. And like Brother Kaleb is pointing out, that on the backside is building such a loyal following. The people that I've been watching that are adding their critiques, their support, their hate, whatever, all of them have still been watching Jay Electronica since 2009. Ever since Exhibit A, ever since Exhibit C.
And several things, jotted some notes. I want to make these points. Something that you all said, like Brother Kaleb, you said something early that made me think about a verse that I caught on yesterday. There's a song, I don't know which song, but Jay Electronica talks about how he remembers his mother reading to him from the book of Revelations as a young child.
That's right.
And you listen to his music, he's talking about scripture, he's talking about the end times, right? And then in addition to that, the dude, he caught flack from having Jay-Z on his first debut album. The one time I had the opportunity to talk to him, I was getting I was getting even text messages out of nowhere, like 2, 3 in the morning. My wife asked me, like, yo, who's texting you? And it's him. And I'm listening to this music and I'm like, yo, why is Jay-Z on all of these verses? And he told me, he said that it wasn't planned that way. They were just in the studio and Jay was just moved by it. And it happened. And you think about it on the remix that he got with him and Jay-Z on that, We Made It, is on YouTube. He got Jay-Z on there rapping about, I'm here to run y'all cool back in the caves.
That's exactly what he said.
Come on,
Where
man.
you get that from? And
then another thing too, remember leaflets, because about 3 years ago, he was putting out leaflets. I'm saying the album coming, I was like, I'm gonna see that when it comes. Remember the Mosaic Elijah Muhammad talked about leaflets in the theology of time, saying that in the battle of Armageddon, before it all said and done, they'll be dropping leaflets from the sky. And it's called leaflets, right? And you said something else, Brother Kaleb, about sometimes people want to be judge and jury. We have a community in London right now that started because of a cassette tape. And here this man's music is touching millions of people. The man has a title. One of the sister pointed out, one of the titles of the song is it possible that Elijah Muhammad is physically alive? And then it sounds like an AI is at the end, is asking the question and saying, this is related to Jesus. Like, what rapper doing that? And you mean to tell me what blessings he gets stored up from the God for doing something like that? When people are rapping about all of this other stuff, man. Any comments? If y'all have anything y'all want to say, just chime in.
I'll just add one thing, man. If anybody saw the recent headline just a few short days ago about the way the IDF is advancing into the Gaza Strip and their attempt to take over West Bank, they recently dropped hundreds of thousands of leaflets onto those people, telling them to evacuate. I thought that was so significant that he dropped an album at that time and that headline be in the news almost the same day.
Think about that. Think about that. Any other thoughts before we go into this next question? No. So I'm going to this. If you had the chance, as elusive as he is, I heard Bun B say this. Bun B say you'll hear from Jay Electronica. You won't hear from him again. He just moved like that, brother. And that's why I talked to, like, there have been some artists who have reached out to me and they try to reach me. I'm like, I don't have no personal number on them like that, brother. I hear from them when I hear from them. And I try to counsel them to say, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. He don't have any malice. He just moved. It's a march to your beat of your own drum. He may not be marching to the beat of anybody's drum. He move out when it's on him to move out. So if you all had a question, we'll start with our sister first, then brother DJ, then brother Kaleb. If you had the chance to ask him one question about his new release, what would it be?
My question would mainly be, how did he come up with the names of the songs? Like what? Because one of them was saying something about Trump. I don't know if that one is still up or not. But
it is
Zelensky or something, and I'm
that
like,
was the title of it.
Joe's CNN and BBC are liars. Like, what made you come up with these names? It's almost like it's clickbait, but I know that there has to be a reason why though. Like, it's not just random. I know there's a reason why it's called that.
I think the track is "Remember That One Time Trump Tweaked" on Zelensky in the White House.
Wait, I totally missed that. I'm about to go to my thing now. What album is that on?
Yeah, it's track number 7 on a written testimony. Mars.
On the Mars one.
The Inhabited Planet. The Inhabited Planet.
Or you have one called Ronald Reagan.
What? Wow.
See, we just scrolling through, bro. Not even listen, because I just caught that the other day. But clearly, a lot of times the titles don't have nothing to do with the song.
So we think.
So we think. Somebody chimed in this past Friday when I raised the same question about the relevance of these song titles to the actual records. And I said, perhaps brother is brother's more brilliant than we are even giving him credit for. He's communicating with us on 2 different tracks. I made the point that brother is giving us these song titles to have a whole nother conversation. Said, look at that. I want you to look at this, but I'm gonna write about this. So he's able to communicate with us on 2 different wavelengths because he's giving you titles like that to look at. And then he write about a whole different subject over here. And another person that was watching the show wrote in and said, yo, maybe it's more relevant than you think. I.e., look at the track, Who Killed Michael Jackson? And he pointed us to go back and re-listen to the minister's speech, The Crucifixion of Michael Jackson.
I gotta go back and listen to that song since they took it. But what our sister, what's some questions you all would ask Jay Electronica about this? What's a question you would ask Brother Kaleb, and then we'll come back to Brother DJ Juan. If you had some time to think, while you're thinking, I would say this.
Brother, to be honest,
yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
A question I want to like, how does he come up with these samples? Like the samples he be pulling from movies. What's the one where tell your mama something, get your tea, the Bismillah. Like where do you get that from? You know, that's just the samples, man, just be different. But go ahead, Brother Kaleb.
Bro, listen, man. Brother, you know, as a creative, man, I just appreciate it, bro. And I appreciate the work. I really don't have any questions because I'm full. Like, I'm still trying to digest what the man put out. Maybe, you know, after some time, I may ask, you know, when you gonna hit us with something else? But in truth, you know, I'm really satisfied musically, and just as an FOI, bro, to understand that this man has really, this is a ministry of rap, and I will keep saying that. And the audience in his rostrum, I mean, brother, you know, how can you compare to that ability to reach? I'm happy to know that we got somebody who thinks and believes like us, who is propagating the faith, who is teaching and raising the level of our people's consciousness, artists and fans alike. Because like you said, with Jay-Z had no choice but to raise up his level of thinking, and he couldn't rap about the same stuff that he would on A Reasonable Doubt alongside that. Which my only criticism, if I'll call it that. I understand it's good for business.
Mm-hmm.
I think your brother Westside, he desecrated that track, in my opinion, because it was just such a low level verse. And I'm just not going, I'm not going to appreciate that like somebody else would, But
oh, you
that's
meant
what brother
desecrated
does,
as
man.
in a
He
negative way,
forces
desecrated.
Yeah.
in a negative way, brother. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I understand that sometimes that nigga rap might be good for business. Excuse my language.
No, that's it. Go ahead, brother. Thank you for your honesty, man. Go ahead, brother DJ. What would you ask him?
Man, have y'all ever heard the figure of speech, don't look a gift horse in the mouth? I don't know if they say that where y'all from, but in the Midwest, there was this saying, don't look a gifted horse in the mouth, as if to say, when somebody giving you something good, don't question it. And what brother has been delivering us has been so brilliant. And what he's doing for us as NOI hip hop artists, without even knowing it, is he's opening a way for us to come up and opening doors for people to want to hear more content like this. So what question could I possibly have? At the same time, I got millions of questions, but I'm better served by just being quiet and letting brother do his thing. So only thing I would even tell the brother is thank you for making a way.
Praise be to God. Hopefully he's watching this and he sees the appreciation.
Can I make a point?
Of course. Yes, sir. You can.
Can I make a point, brother?
Definitely.
Because
man.
I think this is something that, all artists should be able to look at and study and really appreciate, the way brother, and I appreciate any artist who has their own way, just their own way of expressing themselves. But he's not an NOI artist. I say that. And I think sometimes we box ourselves in when we label ourselves that, because this man is a global artist. And he does not water down the teachings. He does not compromise the message. We can talk about whatever personal decisions he makes with it. That's not my business. We're dealing with the art. The missing ingredient most of the time is our ability to be original, our ability to be creative. And like the messenger told the minister, he said, brother, I gave you basically the same thing I gave
everybody else.
It was Allah who blessed you to put the teachings in this fine language. And we have to find what it is that we were born to do. That man has found what he was born to do. And I think that some of us, we have to be honest. Like we all can't be rappers, but we can all find the things that we're good at and be honest to ourselves that this is what I'm good at. I think he raises the bar when it comes to that. And I think we can learn a lot in an industry where everybody sounds the same. Nobody sounds like this brother. There's a couple of MCs that put me in the mind of him, like a Killer Priest, and brother can be an honorary Wu affiliate. He comes in that vein, but he still got his own style, and I just respect that as a rap fan, hip hop head.
And let me say this before I said, brother DJ, you wanted to say something in response to brother question.
No, that was just
brother
I was agreeing with
MNIB. I don't know. I can't speak for this particular release of products, but I know for sure that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan heard the written testimony one. And I know for sure he heard that because I was told that one of his grandchildren was saying, Grandpa, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this. And he was listening to it. And I heard that Jay Electronica had an opportunity to have to meet the minister after that. And there were some things that the minister told him that what God would do for him as a result of him releasing this work, this body of work. I mean, think about it. It starts off with the minister saying, the written testimony, the first one, it starts off with the minister calling out the Jews saying, y'all ain't the children of Israel. And this has been, I was able to see some of the all over the world, the tens of millions of people that have listened to it. This is all over. It's carrying out what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said when he first became registered, when he said, I'm going to take this teaching to every nook and cranny.
That's right.
And that goes to show that we play a role in helping them take it to every nook and cranny. Go ahead, anybody else, any comments? Want to say?
Yeah, real quick, brother. Real quick.
Go ahead.
Along with the titles, the imagery, bro. If you were deaf and you looking at the imagery with these album covers, brother, I mean, listen, man.
Great point.
I mean, there's certain things that you just can't turn time back and reverse something like that. And to have the black woman featured the way he has them featured on the album, every generation, like, you know, brother's been out for a minute, but there are a lot of people who didn't hear a lot of the old tracks that we heard. Mm-hmm. And the wisdom behind releasing them, to them, it's all new. Mm-hmm. So it is with teaching. Some of them to have the kind of imagery, bro, to see that, man, bro, that's impactful.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned that. This brother released 2 albums, and on the cover of the albums is MGT.
And our national in the first quarter.
And a national. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And it's not by accident. You feel what I'm saying? As we get ready to close out, any closing comments? Also, what do you all have going on and stuff like that, Sister Hecava. Any music? Because I'll tell you a testimony of our sister. I was at one of the national martial arts training that Brother Aziz puts on, and I'm over there at a table, and I hear somebody rapping over one of Biggie's. I was like, "Yo, who is this?" And I'll tell you, our sister was handling the business. Do the same. Get one of these.
Really dope.
Brother DJ, I don't know if you can find a way to extend one of these tracks that Jay Electronica had, man, and send it to our sister so she can do her thing on that as well, man. This is my wish. Go ahead. We'll start off. We're gonna start with our sister Hecava, then DJ, then brother Kaleb, and we're gonna close out.
Actually, yes, brother DJ Rockwell. That would be very appreciated. But I also wanted to horseback off of what you said also is that he is indeed making a way for us artists in the Nation of Islam. Like he is really paving a way. And I've been thinking about that as well, because it's that time. Like everything is just happening on time. But for me, what I have coming up is I am working on a mixtape, and I have 2 music videos that I'm doing. I have one next week, and then I have another one mid-October. And I'm very excited, very, 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 very excited to drop these 2 songs off the mixtape. But yes, that's what I have.
Okay, and when we gonna yell it to the mountaintop and support it as well. Go ahead, brother DJ.
3 quick things. Bro, Aunt D in the comment section said something very, very, very key. When artists like Jay Elect come along, let us who are registered members of the Nation, all those who just support quote unquote conscious hip hop, let's not let them support our man more than us. When brother come to your town, buy a ticket. If he drops something, buy the merch. Be the one that supports good hip hop. Don't just support it with this, support it with this. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make this message go further. when people can see, oh, this is a viable thing here. People are buying it. So when brother come to your city on tour, buy a ticket. Go buy the merch.
If he tours, because he don't really be into that.
That part too. Thing number 2, like our dear sister, I have been doing for the last several years a series of mixtapes called NOI Hip Hop, the best of, where I feature brilliant MCs like Sister Hecava Mecca, brilliant MCs like the list goes on, Grego, and so on and so on. Many, many artists that are within our ranks that are super, super dope that would not have a platform otherwise. So be on the lookout for the 5th volume of the best of NOI hip hop coming from yours truly. And last but not least, you can catch our podcast every Saturday on YouTube /The Rockwell Radio Show, or right on our Facebook page, The Rockwell Radio Show. Catch us where we talk about hot subjects just like this every week.
Okay.
Thank you, brother, for having us.
Oh, no problem. Thank you all for being on, man. Go ahead, brother Kaleb.
Brother, I have nothing to advertise. I'm honored to be a part of the conversation. Brother Vaughn is a longtime friend and comrade. Salute you, brother, in your work, in your service. Really appreciate you just as a brother. And my sister, as a rap fan and hip hop fan, I'm stamping you. You're dope.
Come
You're
on,
official.
that part.
And I just encourage you to continue. Like you're dope, you know. So just keep doing. It's working. All right. So much success, and brother Willie, you know, we talk, and hopefully we'll get some more releases. And
definitely.
Interesting thing, I'll say this in closing, is that 2025 is the 70th year since the minister came into the nation, and we're told that. I think it was in Divine Destruction of America that grace would exceed 60, no more than 70 years.
I started listening to that again this morning, man. I started listening to that. See, it's interesting. And Jay Electronica will be aware of stuff like that too, brother.
Yes, sir.
I was
and
able to
2025, 25th, sir, is Farrakhan.
Oh, cut on, y'all science. Listen, that's it. See what I'm saying? And this was a lyric he said, when I spit, the children on the mothership bow on the platform. The true history of Jesus coming to age. I wore ski mask and gloves to the masquerade. And so listen, you know, thank you all for coming on. I really appreciate that. And I really, yeah, we got to give a shout out. He didn't mention the divisions by design. Brother Caleb was
for that, brother.
Listen, I'm gonna mention. I know you didn't, brother. Caleb had me fresh one Savior's Day. I had the green what's the jogger, brother? I went and got me some green and red Pumas. I can't wait to rock that again. I was fresh, you hear me? But our brother does that as well. Yes. And the thing is, and to our sister Hecava, you listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I didn't think you were real good, I wouldn't push you. You can rap. And I'm gonna just be straight up. Everybody in the nation can't do it. Just because sometimes we throw the minister on it, we come up with a lyric that it don't really be smacking like that. But you are one of the ones that can do it. And I was saying, like, you know, find a way where you're able to do it, and you know, where people can also, as you're doing, support you. You see, keep pushing it, keep grinding. Because just like I saw some months ago, you were on a live with Timbaland. You were singing on this one though, right? Or were you rapping?
It was 3 songs. So they were all rap songs, but one of them had singing in it.
Yeah. Keep grinding. In this day and age, like I try to tell some of the artists, they're not rappers in our minds, but some of them who are singers, like you literally can go. I'm talking about. I tell them they literally can go and rent out a small venue and sell tickets and build their own buzz. Like even with this stuff with social media, with online, There are services where you can throw your own concert online and people can pay to see it. Remember, people were doing it during COVID, right? Like, take advantage of that stuff with this new technology. And whatever way we can help, we can help. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Can I tell a quick Hecava Mecca story before we go?
You definitely can.
I think that was this past summer or so. Sister popped up in Atlanta, and I was rocking a set at the mosque for an event we were doing at the mosque. And of course, I acknowledged my sister, and she sent words. She said, "Yo, can we rock a set?" Absolutely. So she come over, she sent me some files, and without rehearsing, me on the decks, her on the mic, did a 20-minute set in front of a parking lot full of the believers, and I stood behind our sister and watched her turn it out.
I missed that. Was that the Id feast?
That's what it was. Was that this year or last year, sister?
Last year.
That was last year.
That was this year.
And after sister was done, and this is the most important part, after sister was done, she stood by while the believers lined up to get photos and autographs.
Listen, so let me ask you this: why y'all can't do that and do something online and push it? And they got this stuff where people, you got to pay to see it. Listen, that's how we build it.
Yep,
it's possible. Like, we can create even if. Come on, y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. Like, let's come on now. And it could be where you in your city, she in the city, we can get it done. So we're gonna close out. Listen, thank you all. Listen, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you all. Trust me, I learned from you all, highly respect you all. That's why I reached out to you all. May Allah continue to bless you all on this Sunday, and we appreciate you all for coming on and being a guest on I Have a Testimony. All right.
Peace. Thank
you.
All right, so if you all who are on, you see our people and you know where they are, make sure you support them, tune into their shows. And this is your brother, Willie Muhammad. We're signing off from another broadcast of I Have a Testimony. Peace.
To walk with that man, brother, is to walk with God. I got that from the Nation of Islam.
He said the right thing with me that just shook. It shook me.
Ask Allah for something big.